Yo, welcome back for Danganronpa another. Last time we found Setsuka's body and we investigated, and it was a toughie for sure. I didn't. Hang on. Okay, my skills are. Oh, I saved before doing this. I need to do this again. I got rid of this, I got this, and I got rid of the top one. Okay. I've thought about this a lot, and I'm in a situation where the answer... Like, usually, I'm a big narrative guy. Like, I really look at who the killer could be from a narrative lens. But in this case... I feel like the answer just came to me and I just had to accept it. Because I don't know if it makes sense narratively. But to me, right now, the answer I have is that the killer is Hibiki and Kanade is an accomplice. That's what I have right now. Okay. Dude, where do I start? Okay. So, obviously the biggest evidence for all of this is the log. I think in general what happened... I don't know how, I don't know the exact detail, I don't know the hin, who, how, why, what, but in general, I think Hibiki accidentally or in a fit of rage or in something like that killed Setsuka. I think she killed Setsuka in the swimming pool. So if you recall, Teruya mentioned that where is it? There it goes. Teruya mentioned that the medical supplies and everything had been taken at morning. Like, you checked in the morning and they were already taken. And if you recall, there was a bottle of antibiotics found in the corner of the swimming pool. By the way, this bottle of antibiotic, I don't know. I think it was just dropped there while they were rummaging around for medical stuff and they just didn't pick it back up. I think it was just something that was dropped there. And it said, like, evidence that the medical kit was brought there. So I think the two people who went in the swimming pool at 8:44 and 8:45 and left a bit later, I think they brought the medical tool. I think at 12:54, the person you see enter, CN9FU3, I think that is Setsuka. Yes, I think... that is Setsuka. I think NU3OD2 enters and takes Setsuka's, what's it called? Setsuka's handbook. I think Setsuka somehow died in there. Okay, listen, this part is kind of rough, okay, but from here on it seems pretty clear. NU3, like this entrance and this exit are the same person, even though they have different IDs. Whoever went in took Setsuka's handbook and went out with their own handbook and with with Setsuka's handbook, and they were carrying Setsuka's body. Because you can't pass through the gate, like, well, you can't scan once and have two people pass. Monokuma said that's not allowed, but I don't think a dead body would count. So I think whoever this is carries Setsuka's body out of here. And then notice this is 17:25. This is right before the parade. I think whoever this is puts Setsuka's body into an animatronic. Not in one of the dolls. And to have it be brought to the to section A. Okay. I don't know if this person is Kanade or Hibiki. I think in my mind what's going on is that Hibiki killed Setsuka and then like asked Kanade for help. You know, Kanade, you need to help me. Holy fuck, what do I do? And Kanade was like, leave it up to me, little sis, or big sis. So I don't know who this person is, but they put Setsuka's body in an animatronic. It's like 5:25 here. I don't know if people were already waiting at the plaza at this point. If they are, then whoever this is can just use the monorail, because they need to get to section A now. Whoever this is uses the monorail, goes to section A. Actually, no, because the monorail isn't active at 5. So whoever... I guess they can just pass through the plaza. There's probably not anyone who's like 35 minutes early, right? Maybe there is. I mean, there could just be different people also. Because what I'm saying is, there's an entrance at 1755 and 1757. One of those is Hibiki, obviously. I think this can't be Kanade, because Kanade was with us before this. Because the conclusion I came to pretty much is, okay, let's assume, so there's someone who entered at 1757 and never left. So if you think of the people we haven't seen since 1757, that is literally only Hibiki, and I already know one of these is Hibiki, so ignore Hibiki. That is literally only Mikado, Syobai, or Teruya. I would be unbelievably surprised if any of these three were the culprit, because none of these seem involved in the slightest. I don't know if it's gonna be something stupid like Mikado came in and exited with magic, like he fucking flied out. Could be something stupid like that, I don't know. But regardless, Hibiki entered here while Kanade was doing stuff with the body. Well, after Kanade did stuff with the body in the swimming pool. And also, Hibiki has to be the one who put all the blood in the ghost house and put the body there. She just has to be. There's no other way. Because there's... like, how else could this possibly make sense? The only other way is if the other person who enters here did it, and Hibiki was just like a witness to whoever did this. Anyway, going further, Hibiki's in the ghost house. She's just chilling there because Kanade told her to. The parade goes off, no one's doing anything. After the parade, we split up to investigate. If you recall, Hiroa is searching Hiroa and Kanade are the one who are searching section A. Hiroa is just in the mirror house, so she's useless. And Kanade, after Sora leaves, probably goes to take the body from the animatronic and brings it to the ghost house. The body probably doesn't count as a person, so she can probably just like dunk it over the railway to Kanade, or probably just pass it through the gate. I don't know. Anyway, she gives the body to Kanade. Kanade sets up the fucking. She gives the body to Hibiki. Hibiki sets up the whole murder scene. The abdomen was probably gotten rid of because that's probably where the real cause of death was. Like she was probably like accidentally stabbed in the stomach or something and it killed her, or something along those lines. I can't think of any other reason to hide the abdomen than to hide the cause of death. And the bruises are just from, I think, having the body be like in the doll as it was during the parade. It probably got bounced around because the doll was fucking dancing and twirling or whatever. And I think that probably crushed it and got all the bruises on it and that. The whole thing with the ghost house is obvious. All the lights were taken out, so the folding screen would be noticed that there's a body hiding behind it. The plastic bags were probably just used to carry out the body parts. Pin. Okay, so I was thinking briefly. This is so wild. Were the twins switching place between each other? Like when we thought we were talking with Kanade, or we're talking with Hibiki? I thought about it, and this could be what the pins were used for, to like change the hairpins. But that, I don't know if that really makes sense, because they have different body types. Like even if you hide the face, you can clearly tell the two apart, I feel. It's not like you just switch the hairpins and suddenly you think they're the other person. Maybe. Maybe Kanade just been wearing fake boobs the entire time, and that's how Kanade that's how Hibiki disguises her. Actually, no, because we saw her at the beach at the very beginning, so she doesn't. It's not fake. I don't know what else the hairpins. Oh, also maybe the hairpins were just used to pop the blood bags to, because obviously blood bags were used to fucking get blood all over the scene and you know, lead people to the spirit, the fucking body, all that. Maybe this was just used to like poke a hole in the blood bag and spew the blood everywhere. Maybe it's that simple. Why would they need 3 of them though? Also, the fact that we found Hibiki's hairpins in the ghost house right in front, like right behind her, or right in front of her. To me, that seems like planted evidence. I don't think that was there before, right? Like when we first came to the ghost house to investigate, surely we would have found that, right? And again, when we were investigating the body, we surely would have found that. Are the pins that we found on the floor these pins? Did Kanade take these, like form them back into Hibiki's hairpins and put them on the floor? The whole disinfection thing is really obvious. It's just so no one would come to no one would come in the swimming pool. What the fuck was Setsuka doing in there? Because to me, it looks like Setsuka died between 1254 and 1724. But it doesn't seem like anyone else should have been inside the swimming pool at that point. I'm pretty sure CN9FU3 is Setsuka. Did Setsuka... No. Because the problem is, NU30D2, did they really just kill Setsuka, take her handbook, and drag her body out in a minute? Is that possible? Is that what we were saying happened? And if that's so, why was Setsuka in the swimming pool for 5 hours? And that would mean Setsuka was the one who set up the disinfection sign or whatever. What the fuck was she What the fuck was she doing? Okay, new theory. DJ6SX7 and IS3JZ2, the 2 people in the morning. I think that's Setsuka and Nikke. Yeah, I think that's Setsuka and Nikke, because I think Nikke had something going on with Setsuka, and I think Setsuka brought the medical things for some reason. and then Setsuka came back at 12:54, fucking fell asleep for 5 hours, I guess, or something, or was setting up something. Because the thing is, my theory about it being like an accidental murder or like something done out of passion doesn't really work if you had less than 1 minute to kill her, or you had like 1 minute to kill her. Because it's hard to get to accidentally kill someone in a minute, you know? Gotta be real clumsy for that. Is it... Is it possible? No. That's stupid. That's stupid. Oh man. Oh man, I don't know. I have two problems right now with my theory. I like it. It's cool. It's neat. It seems to fit up with the circumstantial evidence, like how Kanade's been acting a little weird. Why Syobai is like investigating all of a sudden is because he's seen that Kanade's weird, so he wants to investigate on his own because he can't rely on her. It fits with a lot of things, but there's two things. One is who is the second person here that doesn't leave? Monokuma said you can't scan your handbook and not go in. So you can't scan 2 handbooks and go in one time. You're not allowed to do that. And if we assume that it's someone who stayed hidden in the ghost house until the body discovery announcement, because then the gate unlocked or whatever, and then they went out and pretended to come back in, then the question, okay, sure, I accept that. Then the question is, who left at 7:42? Because regardless, this would mean that one person that is involved in all of this was unaccounted for from 1757 until we found the body. And again, the only people who fit that description are Hibiki, Mikado, Teruya, and Syobai. It could be some... my best guess right now is that this is some shenanigans. Either Mikado went in and teleported out, or Syobai was in it the whole time and is just lying, and like he knows some stuff. That would explain why he's been acting kind of weird, because he's seen some stuff and... For now, I will choose to ignore this. I will choose to ignore one of these. If I ignore that, then the remaining question is, how did Setsuka die? If I'm right and she did die in a swimming pool, how did she die when the culprit, who's presumably NU30D2, had 1 minute to kill her? I mean, that's not impossible if you're prepared. But that goes against maybe Kanade is the culprit. That seems so fucking wrong, like narratively though. Then maybe Kanade, because she's just a psychopath, just went in, stabbed her in the stomach, and left. Like, I've been here for 20 minutes already. Jesus. Okay. The question is, am I gonna figure out... Can I figure out more of this if I keep thinking at it, or have I reached a wall? I mean, I could think about this for like a couple more days, but at some point I do want to continue the trial, you know? I'm not 100% confident in this theory. It just seems to fit circumstantially with a lot of things. I'm not sure which one exactly is the killer. I thought Ihibiki first, but now it kind of seems like Kanade more. I'm surprised they would kill Kanade here, but maybe. But one of them's the killer and the other's the accomplice. That's what I'm going with. Sorry, I theorized for so long. That's what I'm going with. Maybe it's totally wrong. It could just be Nikkei, by the way. It could just be this fucking guy, just like... Oh, it's not opening. Okay. It could just be this this fucking asshole. It could just be him. Like, I could just be completely off mark here. But that's what I've got. It just seems to make sense. I'm clearly missing a lot of things here, but I'm really curious to see how this is gonna go. I'm really excited actually. Let's just see how this is gonna go. Let's start with the basic rules of the class trial. The result of this class trial is determined by your votes. If you vote for the correct Blackened, only they will get punished, but if you pick the wrong person, everyone else excluding the Blackened gets punished, and only they will be able to escape the school trip. Was this place always this huge? It's probably because there's a lot less of us now. Right, 5 have already died, there's only 11 left. They all left us one by one. Everyone, we're just starting here, so let's put away our negative thoughts for now. If we don't get a hold of ourselves, we could be very well following the footsteps of those 5. He's right, we need to only focus on finding the culprit. Yeah, about that, I really have no idea this time. Can we really solve the case this time? It's alright, we have Kanade. I don't know if Kanade is going to be helping you here. She did most of the heavy lifting last time, so for this case. And what if Kanade is the culprit, or an accomplice? Wink wink. Ah, then I guess it would be the end for us. What happened to your go happy state, Iroha? Because Kokoro's already dead, and if it weren't for Kanade last time, we'd all be dead. And if that Kanade is our enemy, then that means we have no brains on our side anymore. Okay, come on, that's kind of mean. Ira, don't be so sure of that until the end. Don't give up just yet on us, alright? Even if each of us aren't perfect on our own, that's why the trial exists. For us to debate through this together. I couldn't have said it better myself. They say well begun is half done. And I'd say this is one of our better start-offs. So that means, would you believe it? We're already halfway through. That was fast. My, that lifts my spirit up. I'll do my very best in this trial as well. Shutting up is the best you can do for us, so shut it. Quiet everyone, Shinji's right, let's get this thing together and find out the culprit. That's what Setsuko would say if she was here, right? And our together and the other social butterfly, Hibiki, is in, well, that state. Sniff, don't worry about it, sis. Don't worry about sis. She's just a bit shocked. She'll be okay in a while. Alright, let's start this thing. But as always, finding the best place to start is the hardest task. Mr. and Miss Culprit, please raise your hand. I thought it was worth a try. Well, we should go over the basic outline of the case. Wait, there's something I want to clear up first. Yuki, what is it? You all read the Monocore file, right? The file this time around is honestly very poorly written. I mean, it doesn't even show the time of death. Did it? Wait, but didn't Kokoro's case file also hide the time of death from us? That was because Kokoro's corpse is frozen, making it difficult to determine the exact time of death. In Yuri's case, it was clearly different. Except for exceptional cases, it should be given that the time of death should always be shown to us. Monoko, care to explain this? Am I the one at fault again? You're clearly hiding important information that is crucial for us to figure out what's going on in this case. Yoriko, please, there's no need for such harsh words. The Monocore files aren't your gaming walkthroughs. Sometimes we are forced to leave some details out. What do you mean by that? Let me explain. Well, in short, it's for the fairness of the trial. There are 2 cases where the Monocore file leaves out information. First are cases where it's just simply impossible to include that information. The primary example being Kokoro's frozen body, making it impossible for us to find the time of death. In the other cases where the missing detail is exactly what the culprit intended. Wait, come again? For example, let's say our culprit used some tricks so that we can't easily determine the murder weapon. But then, if the Monocore file says the murder weapon is the knife, all the hard work done by the culprit will go to waste, no? So in these cases, we intentionally leave out information about the murder weapon. Or at least make it very vague. What? The first time I've heard of such a rule? Because up until now, there was no need for that rule. It's exactly as Mikado said. This case is such an example of that rule. How's that fair? You're giving the culprit an edge. No, not entirely. If they hit the time of death, that means there was a reason to do so by the culprit. In other words, when did Setsuka actually die? We should start from there. I didn't mean to press yes. I really hope I'm right. I would feel very stupid if I'm completely off and it's just like fucking Nikkei's the killer. Or Yoriko or something. Ghost House Gate. Okay, so when did Setsuka die? The last time we saw Setsuka in person was during the breakfast meeting. And we found the corpse around 8 in the evening, right? So between morning and evening, isn't that too long of a gap? We can't help that. There's no witness who saw Setsuka after breakfast. Okay, between when we last saw her and the time of discovery of her death, we just have to randomly search between those timestamps. Oh, okay, that's wrong. No bad. The last one then? Okay, so we're saying that this... Wait, that's wrong? But did I miss aim, or was that wrong? Okay, no, that's just wrong. Okay, there's only one other statement. Okay, this is already off to a bad start. Fucking aim it. Oh my god. Okay, well, I saw all the statements and none of them are right, so... I don't have any other bullets. I shot this. I shot this. And I shot this. Did I miss the last one? Dude, please shoot. Okay, I just shot wrong the very first time. Okay, that's epic. I think we're gonna need the saves. No, Nikkei, perhaps we can narrow that time frame further. There was something that came to me while I was investigating. Setsuka's body was found in the ghost house, right? So by looking at the gate records, we can probably deduce something. I don't think that was Setsuka. I think... agreed. After all attractions in Satsuki-land require us to input our handbooks. And the gate keeps track of all of those records down to every minute. I think the culprit wants us to think that was Setsuka. Wait, the gate does record timestamps. But they don't show whoever it was that entered. So we don't know which out of those records is Setsuka. No, not exactly. Just like Sora said, we can assume the time period that Setsuka died using the gate records. Kanade. So you can assume the time range is from the gate records? Sorry, did you perhaps happen to write down the gate records? Well, yes, I did. Now we're talking. Please, everyone, take a look at this. Yeah, I think the KU5P01. I think that's a bait. I think that's something else. I don't think that's related. These are the gate records of the ghost house for today. Wait, so are you sure you got everything right? If you by any chance got anything wrong, we'll be going on a wild goose chase. Don't worry, it matches with the real one. I have it perfectly memorized, because I can just do that. If you say so. Since the timestamps are very crucial to this case, from now, let's all refer to the 24-hour clock to avoid confusion. Okay. Now let's go over them one by one. Now the most important ones, the ones between 1755 and 1942. These 4 ID records at 1958 are when Sora, Shinji, Yuki, and I had found the body. So we can ignore these. Wait, if these are the record for the whole day, then does that mean the first time anyone entered the ghost house today was at 1755? Correct, and somebody else soon followed 2 minutes later. KU5P01, this was probably Setsuka. How can you tell just by the timestamps? Oh, I see, this ID has no out record. So this must have been Setsuka who entered the ghost house and was murdered there. Exactly, in other words, The murder couldn't have happened at any point before 1755, where the ghost house was first used by someone. Okay, it seems like we're jumping really quick to Hibiki's the culprit, so I think I'm probably dead wrong. But I don't think she was killed here though. Maybe we're gonna back around to this. We're gonna come back around to this. Wait, but these 4 records at 1958 don't have any out record as well. Wait. Oh yeah, they disabled the gate system when the body's found. I almost dropped the the F-bomb on you. Which one? Good on you for avoiding that in time. So let's see, we can assume that the person who entered at 1755 is the culprit. They somehow managed to call Setsuka to the ghost house and entered before her, and probably ambushed her as soon as she entered. Yep, so the time of Setsuka's death would be between 1755 and 20, when the body was found. There was a long period of time before anyone entered the ghost house and Setsuka entered. The culprit probably used this time to dismember Setsuka's body. Dismember, just thinking about it, Wait, what? Something felt a little off just now. We received a message from Setsuka right before the parade that she had some business to attend. Is Kanade gonna accuse us for the entire trial? That was when she had gone to the ghost house to meet the culprit. Wait, something's wrong here? What? Shinji just reminded me by bringing up the chat room. If Setsuka was ambushed from entering the ghost house at 1755, then what's up with that message she sent long after that? Oh, you mean the one you guys told me about? The devil or whatnot? That was around 20 o'clock. What is it? Nothing. I just couldn't help but marvel at your stupidity, Yuriko. What did you say? Didn't we just go over this? Who cares what the screen says about whoever sent the message? Obviously, the culprit stole the handbook from Setsuka to send us the message. Yeah, but they need her fingerprint, right? She's right. If you can use the fingerprint to turn the handbooks on. I don't think there were any fingers cut off this time. You can send as many fake messages as you'd like. Just like how Emma acted as Kokoro. Wait, there's something else that's bothering me. If the culprit entered at 1755 and Setsuka at 1757, who's this person that entered at 1924 and left at 1936? Who knows, man? It could be anyone. That's probably me. Kanade and Ira should remember that, right? That was when we were searching for Setsuka in Block A. Oh, you're right. You've gone to the ghost house. Wait, what? Then shouldn't you have seen the culprit? What do you mean by that? I mean, think about it. The culprit, WN2LB7, entered at 1755 and left at 1942. If what Kanade said was true, she'd have stayed inside of the ghost house taking care of the body. So that means the culprit was in there when you entered the ghost house. That's what I was wondering about, Nika. If Kanade's reasoning is true, then I should have seen the culprit. The ghost house had a blackout at the time, correct? Maybe you missed him in the darkness. There's no way that could have happened. I searched every corner. I don't think you can miss someone even in the dark who's cutting up a whole human body. So are you sure you searched everywhere? Of course, I know it was dark, but no, not then. After the body was found, when you were investigating, the lights were definitely on. So if you searched thoroughly, you should have seen that place, right? That place? Was there any room for the culprit to hide to take care of the body? Is she talking about that place in the entrance? Are you talking about the folding screen near the entrance? So you're suggesting that the culprit hid behind that? Exactly. I'm sure you've all seen it, but the trail of blood in the ghost house all originates from a large pool of blood behind the folding screen. The culprit moved the folding screen from the wall to create a small room between them. With the ghost house being dark, it would be extremely difficult to figure out that there was some room behind it. That's where the culprit was cutting up Setsuka. But there was a blackout at the ghost house. Could someone really perform such a delicate process in a dark room like that? That's not really a problem. Only 3 people, Setsuka, the culprit, and Sora entered the ghost house. Okay, so you're really blaming your sister for this right now. And all that had to do was finish the job before 1923, when Sora entered the ghost house. That will also explain the fireplace being put out. And it doesn't contradict with our parade schedule. Is Kanade the killer? Could someone sort this out for me? I have no idea what's going on. It's simple. The person who entered at 1755 and left at 1942, that person is the culprit. So we should ask for everyone's alibi at that time. The people who don't have an alibi would be... Well, we first have to exclude the people that watched the parade. Iro, are you going to say something? You know who this person is. The parade started at 18 and ended a little over 19 after all. I say 16 because I'm thinking 18 is 6 in my head, but I'm sorry, I'm doing the thing wrong. And who are those people? Me, Yuki, Yoriko, Shinji, Kanade. And Nikke. Nikke, I thought you said you were gonna act alone. I was there for article experience. I didn't expect them to be there. Okay, but you weren't. We didn't see you. You were there at the beginning, but you could have been doing stuff during the parade. And don't try to divide us into separate teams. This is not a time for personal feelings to get involved. Wait, you forgot me. You're right, but you weren't with us at the parade. Well, she did meet up with okay, calm down. She did meet up with us right after the parade had ended, so she does have an alibi. The culprit left the ghost house at 1942, so she couldn't have been the culprit. Thank goodness. So the ones who weren't there are Mikado, Teruya, Syobai, and Sis. So the culprit is amongst these four? Well then, we don't even have to think about this. It's the Mikado or Syobai. Wait, we do have to think thoroughly about this, bro. Please don't recklessly act by your emotions. What, Yuki, did you call me reckless? You are. Definitely right. God, I shouldn't act by my emotions. Alright, enough chit-chat. Over there, you four. One by one, tell us what you were doing between 1755 and 1942. Mikado, Teruya, Syobai, and Hibiki. It's true that these four, without any alibis, are the most suspicious here. Let's hear what they have to say. Is Kanade really the killer? I don't know. There's no way. I'm wrong. I'm wrong somewhere. I'm wrong somewhere. Hero's account. What were you four doing then? I was raising my MP in my room. We're serious here, you scum. I was at the mall doing my item checkup. I don't have any proof though. Sis, where were you all day? I don't know, I really don't. I want to see what Syobai is going to say. I'm not going to contradict this. I didn't go anywhere today. Syobai, it's your turn. Library, reading books. Okay. Whoa, he's not sleeping for once. I don't like that we're bringing this up this early. Maybe it's a thing where now we think she's the culprit, but then we're gonna think she's not the culprit, but then we're gonna come back around to thinking she's the culprit. Hibiki, wait, so you're telling me that you didn't go anywhere today? Then how do you explain the existence of a witness seeing you enter the ghost house? What? Hiroa said she saw you there, right, Hiroa? Oh yeah, I saw her a little bit before 18, as I was going to the mirror mansion after receiving a message from Setsuka. Wait, 1755? That matches with the timestamp on the gate. That was when I saw her, I'm sure of it. What? Hibiki entered the ghost house at 1755? Are you sure about that, Hiroa? I'm positive, it was definitely Hibiki. She wandered about until finally entering that place. What are you talking about? I never entered there. Sniff, I never went there. She's crying. Perhaps Hiroa mistook someone else for Hibiki. She is an idiot after all. I don't want to hear that from the likes of you. Hiroa's account has some validity though. Part of her account was already told to us by her even before the crime happened. That she was supposed to meet with Setsuka at the mirror mansion at 6. Considering both from a location and time standpoint, it does sound persuasive. Then does this mean Hibiki's the culprit? Why am I the culprit? No, I'm not. I don't remember anything. I just can't recall anything. I'm scared. Tsuka, help me. Sis, wake up. Setsuka's not here anymore. I know I'm the one who caused this, but maybe we should think about this a bit more. Hibiki's been tired ever since yesterday. Yesterday's motive reveal. And to make things worse, Setsuka's no longer with us. Comfort her. I'm not saying that my account is false, but the trial's just started. And I can't help but feel bad for Hibiki. You got a point, but you can't deceive the gate records. The crime did happen in the ghost house. And by the gate records, the person who entered at 1755 is the culprit. And Hibiki is that person. Hibiki, if you're really innocent, answer us. What were you doing at that time? I don't know, I can't remember, I just can't sob. My, it seems like we have a total babyility on our hands. Huh? Well, I think we're pretty much done here. As Yuki said, the gate records are decisive evidence. She probably didn't expect her trails to be caught by their gate records. There's no doubt that she's the culprit. But don't you think she's acting a bit weird if she's the culprit? Sniff, sob. Kanade, what do you think about this? She's your family. Do you think she's the culprit? To be honest, I figured this would happen since the investigation. What do you mean? Sis was always like that. The more she's cornered, the more she reverts back to her childlike manners. And if it was brought to this extreme, she loses her memories. What kind of nonsense is that? It's something that only I knew. When her puppy that she raised when she was young died, when her best friend was severely injured after falling down the stairs, when some of the melody rhythm staff went missing, again bringing that up, and so it repeats today as well. We all saw it, right? Sis being frozen like a lifeless puppet. I suspected this from her amnesiac state back at the trial entrance. I don't know anything, wah! In other words, Ibiki did indeed murder Setsuko, but she herself doesn't recall it? That is indeed a possibility. Doesn't all this sound too unrealistic? It does sound like nonsense, but Hibiki's state ever since yesterday's motive reveal was extremely unnatural. And it might actually be true. Wait, Kanade, isn't that a contradiction? Hibiki being mentally unstable, killing the only person who is keeping her sane? It doesn't make sense. If this really is the culprit, then I might have an idea on why she killed Setsuko. And why is that? Each of Setsuko's body parts were laid on each pillar at the altar, right? Did anybody take a glance at the signpost in front of the altar? Sacrifice your precious one, then the devil will be incarnated in front of you to grant your wishes. Or something along those lines? You don't say. Yep, Setsuko was someone precious to Sis. She killed and butchered Setsuko, all to grant her wish. Eek! What kind of nonsense is that? It's just a made-up gimmick of an attraction. You're telling me she actually believed that? She wasn't herself at the moment she saw the motive video. She was an idiot to begin with, but but she was driven to a state where she couldn't tell apart fiction from reality. Sniff. What kind of wish could it have been if she wanted it so badly, even if it did cost her precious friend? Her parents had died. What? I know this because her motive videos have been the exact same. Her parents have been ambushed and killed. That was her motive video. So yours was like mine. Then Hibiki wanted to save her parents? Hibiki, in her weakened mind, might have tried to grant her wish through sacrificing Setsuko, a precious friend to her. The trial hasn't ended yet, nor has the culprit been confirmed, but I at least know what my sister is like, and this is all based on that. Whatever happened, the fact that my sis is the most suspicious one here is inevitably true. Okay, I don't think you guys are the culprit anymore. I'm changing my mind. Fucking Nikkei's the culprit. Sure, Nikkei's the culprit. Wah! I want to go home. I had enough. Mom, Dad, Tsuka, help me. No, I don't want this. She broke down. Kinda they do something. We can't do anything right now. She's like that. Try to console her like you usually do. It's useless. Nothing would calm sis down now. And at this point, it's almost been confirmed that she's the culprit. How can you be so calm about this? She's your family. I mean, I can't help it. She tried to survive and escape this place alone. Poor little sis. I feel so bad for you. Okay. So adorable. Huh? Hibiki, don't just cry over there and say so. Fucking Kanade in the corner. Don't just cry over here and say something. Did you really kill Setsuko? It's hard to remember. I don't know. I want to go home. Here, girl. I'll try to talk with her. Sora. Is Hibiki really the culprit? Even if the gate records are decisive evidence, is it enough to decide the culprit on its own? If she really is the culprit, there must be something more than this. I should present that to her, memoryless or not, so that a truth that everyone can accept will surface. Oh, this already? Okay. Really strange to be doing this so early in the trial. Usually this is like the final. We're gonna present her hairpin, right? Okay, don't shoot the black braids. Oh, she's dressed like Hatsune Miku. That's cute. That's so much HP, what the hell? Why does this last for so fucking long? I'm not even halfway through it. It's repeating the same patterns. Doesn't this mean that if Hibiki isn't the culprit here, she can be the culprit in the future? Because, fuck. Because, like, we already have this with her. Dude, can you believe I have this a skill to make this easier right now? Imagine if I didn't. I would really like a skill that, like, makes me able to move to the middle square. That would be really good. Okay, don't fuck this up. Hairpin drop. Wait, I pressed down. I pressed hairpin. Or is it dropped hairpin at the ghost house, not hairpin dropped at the ghost house? Okay, my bad, man. Very different. Dropped hairpin at the ghost house. What is this? Why is there underwear there? So I got a 90 somehow. Hibiki, there's decisive evidence that you went to the ghost house. When the announcement for the class trial was made, I found and returned your hairpin that was dropped on the ground. You're not going to say that you don't even remember that as well, right? Sob. What are you talking about, Sora? Hibiki's hairpin was dropped on the ground at the altar. At that time, I didn't think much of it and returned it to her immediately. Wait, what? Sora, you found Sister's hairpin at the ghost house? Oh, I see. Sora's the one who tied Hibiki's hair back up during the investigation. Wait, that's crucial evidence. Why didn't you mention this before? I didn't think that she'd be the culprit at the time. And I just thought that she had dropped it somehow right then and there. Hibiki's hair wasn't untied when Setsuka's body was found, right? But the Hibiki I saw entering the ghost house at 1755, she had her hair tied up. So that would mean that she got her hair untied doing some business in the ghost house? Wait, but how could she have not noticed her hair being untied? And this all feels too forced. For the culprit to leave her belongings so easy to find at the crime scene. Too forced. Are you implying that someone might have tried to frame Hibiki? I agree this result is a bit sloppy. Too many unanswered questions. But forced or not, there is an undeniable truth here. That this hairpin was dropped at some point in the ghost house. That my sister had entered the ghost house today. Memoryless or not, she definitely entered that place. But according to the gate records and excluding Setsuka and Sora, there's only one person who entered the ghost house, and that person is the culprit. Thanks to Iroha's account, we have proved that Sis entered the ghost house. The hairpin evidence confirms this. That is quite undeniable indeed. I don't know, I really don't remember anything. Anyone, please help. Okay, I think you're an accomplice. I don't think you're the killer. Okay, the reason I was so set on this was that, I think you're an accomplice. Right, Kanade is here for me. Kanade, help. I only have Kanade. Kanade's always been by my side. Kanade, help. Wake up, Hibiki. No one's at your side right now. Eek. There's no mom or dad, no Suka or whatever. There's nobody to help you right now. Stop being such a crybaby and admit it. There's too much evidence pointing to you as a culprit. Kanade, I don't want to do this either, sis. But with the hairpin and everything, even I can't cover for you anymore. You killed Setsuka. Me? I killed Tsuka? Why? Did I really sob? By those words, are you admitting that you did it? If what Kanade said is true, Hibiki should have no memory of that. This is why she's acting like this. If we could explain what happened in this case with reason, maybe she'd be able to remember her crimes and admit to it. Wait, if that's true, then Hibiki herself doesn't even know what she did. Can we really vote someone with that much uncertainty? A class trial should be run with the given evidence as the basis. If the suspect pointed by evidence logically refutes and there's no contradiction in that, we would need to find another possibility. But Sis didn't refute anything. There's really no other evidence to prove her innocence either. I might have killed her. Huh? I don't have any memory ever since this morning. Maybe with the motive and all, I might have killed Tsuka, like Kanade said. No, sob. Sis. I guess this is the end, right? Well, this feels like it ended too quickly. To do such horrible things to Setsuka only to get caught this easily just by the gate records? Well, Kanade is smart after all. She did single-handedly solve the last trial as well. That was easier than expected. Why do you do it, sis? Why would you kill someone? Was it really because you wanted to grant some wish? I don't know, Kanade, what should I do? I'm scared. I can't remember anything. I'm going to die? Sob. Wow. Is this really the end? From the investigation, I expected this case to be much tougher. But she got caught already? I feel like I should object. But there's too much evidence backing her into a corner that I don't know what to say. Is Syobai gonna come in clutch? Is it already over? Wait, we should think this through once more. I think Hibiki's the culprit. I just want to get out of this place. This is too much. I don't know about that. I do agree that Hibiki's almost certainly the culprit. This ended too abruptly. Well, it seems like you're unsure about this. I'll ask you once more. Have you chosen Hibiki as the culprit? Can I take this silence as a yes? What are we to do then? Hibiki herself admitted it. I don't know what to do anymore. Let's just end this. Very well. I feel as exhausted as you do. But I guess this is one way to end this. Now then, everyone, vote for the culprit with a switch in front of you. Will that answer be the truth or not? Fufu. Now. There we go, my goat. Unbelievable. How the hell do you guys even survive 2 of these? Shut up and listen to me. I'm running this trial now. I need more than 9 lives if I left this up to you. I know how to do this minigame. Banger music. Save yourselves. What's the question? I mean, all of these are relevant, I think. Poolgate records? Because there's someone else who didn't leave from the Poolgate. Wonder. What is up with you? Always carried by us, and now you're suddenly here to run things? Careful, he might be trying to distract us. The Poolgate records. Sorry? Wait, the reason we focused on the ghost house was because Setsuka's dead body was found there. And the gate records are an ID without an out record, right? So, there's another attraction with an ID that has no out records. Really? It's the pool. Everyone, please look at this. These are the Poolgate records for today that I've taken note of. Oh, you're right. The person who entered at 1724, NU30D2, has no out records. What's going on? That's weird. There was no one there when I went there. Well, so the person that entered at 1910 and left at 1915 was you when we were searching for Setsuka, right? Yeah, I went straight to the pool as soon as I entered Block C. But according to these records, shouldn't there have been someone when I investigated there? But I don't remember seeing anybody. Well, there was an ID without an out record at the ghost house, even when I didn't find anyone at the ghost house, remember? There could have been a hidden space in the pool like the ghost house, or... Anyways, it's true that the pool also has an ID without an out record. So this is something we shouldn't just gloss over. Sorry, I knew it was suspicious, but Hibiki's reaction was so convincing that I... so you knew about this. Have you lost your mind? You knew this and let these idiots choose that brat as the culprit? I could say the same about you. Why are you suddenly helping us? She's right, you always made fun of us. You know, I'm a guy who tries to live his life as efficiently as possible. I cannot allow any damages or any loss of resources with every action. He's on my grind set. If a problem can be solved without my effort, why even bother? But look at what happened here when I left this in your hands. We're about to fail a trial and you're going to cost me my life. All of my efficient philosophies are worthless when I'm dead, right? My own life is more important than any. So what? How can we believe you? Shinji, wait, let's just let him do whatever he wants to do. Are you sure we'll be alright? Syobai is the literal definition of self-centered. He only cares about himself. For him to act like this probably means that we're wrong. To be honest, I thought that something was wrong even before Syobai brought it up. Syobai, by us failing the trial, are you implying that Hibiki is not actually the culprit? Of course, why the hell would I be talking like this if I wasn't? Be grateful, y'all were just saved from certain doom. But don't worry, you can all pay up big time after this is over. What's up with that attitude? You think you're smart, or Kanade is much smarter than you? And the smartest girl here didn't even check the gate records of the other attractions? Yeah, we're even more fucked than I thought. The Poolgate records? Of course I checked them. And yet you didn't object to all this? Whether the pool has an out record or not, the body was still found in the ghost house. Isn't natural procedure to focus on the crime scene where the body was found? That reminds me. What? Well, I'm terribly sorry for interrupting, but I mentioned this to Sora, right? That the pool today was closed during the daytime. Is Kanade the culprit? It's looking like it. I'm surprised they would kill her off this early. Does that have anything to do with... What do you mean by that, bro? Ah, well, around 12 in the daytime or so, I went to the pool to take a break and work myself out. But it was sanitation time, so I ended up just coming back empty-handed. Pool sanitation time. There was a small sign in front of it. It said not to enter, and if you did, you will be punished by the school rules. Wait, I never heard about that. I guess I forgot to mention this, but the pool in Setsuko goes into sanitation once per week. That was a real sign? That wasn't a fake sign? During this time, all the water in the pool is drained, and there are a lot of chemicals involved, so we keep everyone out. If I don't mention the violating the rule part, someone might just barge in and get in danger. Well, I guess no one would risk their lives to enter there. Well, that's most confusing. I recall that today was not the day for pool sanitation. Okay, there we go. I shouldn't say this. A teacher should stay out of class trial. What? So that means there was a picket even though it wasn't pool sanitation time? Nah, do you get it? That was put there by the culprit. Why do such a thing? Simple. They had some very important business in the pool that required nobody coming in. In other words, Setsuko didn't die at the ghost house, but rather at the pool. Yeah, okay, I got there. I had figured that much out. Is that what you're trying to say, Syobai? Yeah, you were all wrong, and that girl's been spotting nonsense. Syobai, wait, I understand that the pool also had an ID without an out record, but that alone doesn't disprove that the ghost house isn't a possible place where Setsuko died. What do you mean? He's saying that Setsuko could have died in either places, but Setsuko couldn't have been in two different places at the same time. Shut up, I'm going to explain why the murder couldn't have happened inside the ghost house. You, albino, pull out the gate records of the ghost house again. Don't order me around, I will show the records. So by your little theory, the person who went out at 1757 is Setsuko Chiebukuro, right? Because only who went in rather. Because only that ID is no out record. And the WN whatever who entered at 1755 and left at 1942 is the culprit. So that would mean that at least up until 1757 Setsuko Chiebukuro was alive. The culprit left at 1942, so she had at most 1 hour and 45 minutes to do everything she needed to do. What about that? Idiots, you think that time is enough to chop up someone like that? Well, we never tried it ourselves, so let me tell you, ignorant brat, something. It's impossible. You need at least 1 more hour. Okay, I didn't know that, but sure. Especially with a case like this. What do you mean? I looked into the corpses. The edges were trimmed off extremely clean. They didn't just cut it, they stitched it up so that the insides wouldn't flow out. Whatever it is, it wasn't their first try. It was a work of a pro amongst pros, I'd say. Like Kanade. Yeah. As if there was such a disgusting professional among us. If there was, that'd be you. You're a criminal, right? You even stabbed Sora without hesitation the first day here. Well, I guess I could do it, but that's all the more reason I can guarantee this. There's no way someone can manage such a task in less than 2 hours, even for a professional. Fufu, if anyone else said that, it would have sounded like nonsense. But coming for Syobai, a criminal on active duty, do you know how to persuade someone? Well, I entirely agree with you. It should be tough with just a dismemberment, but the crime doesn't end there. The culprit needed to carefully put each body part on the pillar, create some room behind the folding screens, and in case someone enters, turn off all sources of light. And in fact, Sora did enter there. And turning off the lights is the final step. You can't dismember a body under no light. Since it's impossible to predict who will enter, they will need to be given a lot of time before they finally turn off the lights. But doing all that in 1 hour and 45 minutes, well, does it look possible now? It certainly does feel impossible, even excluding the dismemberment. And most importantly, blood traces were found, but no pieces of flesh were found in the ghost house. We could have somehow taken care of the flesh parts. Hello, have you been listening with only half an ear? I said that she had to take care of the inside. Okay, Kanade is being real sus. There needs to be a cut-off flesh ends lying somewhere around, which a ghost house didn't have. Now, if it was the pool, you could get rid of the flesh and blood just by drowning them in the drain. If the killer didn't cut the body in the ghost house, then what was up with all that blood? Right, I thought it would be natural to have that much blood lying around if Setsuko's body was cut off in that place. If the killing didn't happen in the ghost house, then as Yuriko said, it wouldn't make sense for there to be a trail of blood there. Considering its large quantity, it would be wrong to assume there would be spilled blood from moving the body around. So that blood is Kanade? I guess Kanade is the killer. I mean, seeming pretty obvious right now. Where did I miss it? Teruya's account, right? The blood packs. Maybe the blood isn't from Setsuko, but from the blood packs at the infirmary. The blood packs are from the infirmary, but we don't have any proof that anybody used them. Wait, I know, I saw them disappear. I told this to Sora, right? All the blood packs have disappeared just this morning. Yes, because of Teruya's account, this is a sure possibility. Wait, you even checked the infirmary items? I believe this was something only I could do, so I was going to try and cover as much ground as possible. Teruya, if you had noticed the blood packs being taken, you should have at least told us that. You really not trust us that much? Huh? Wait, did something happen between you guys? We can talk about this later. That isn't the focus right now. What do you think, Syobai? What do you mean, what do I think? Of course that's what happened. Though I didn't expect there to be a freak here that keeps records of all that. There were a bunch of empty blood packs thrown away near the ghost house. Oh, okay, that makes it easy. All the blood in the ghost house is fake, a small performance for the culprit. But why go through the hassle of to divert our attention to the ghost house? And sure enough, we all were focused on the ghost house until Syobai stood up. Like Syobai said, even when we went over last time, and about the fact that the place the body was found isn't necessarily the place the person was killed, the shock factor of the scenery of the ghost house was enough for us to gloss over that. If they had put in that much effort into the ghost house, to make us think that the ghost house was where Setsuko was killed, it means that the actual crime happened at the pool, not the ghost house. It was a trick by the culprit to make you not even think twice about any place other than the ghost house. But to use all those blood packs, what if someone needs a blood transfer or something? There's no need to worry about that. I'll make sure to replenish the stock after the trial. If there's still more? Well, the amount of blood used was a lot less than the actual amount of blood paths taken. You call that a lot less? Let's just leave that at that for now. Maybe they miscalculated the amount of blood they needed. The important part is that the crime happened at the pool. Y'all got that part, right? Well, the only attraction that has IDs with no out records were the ghost house and the pool. And we just discussed the fact that the ghost house couldn't have been the place where Setsuko died. If you guys had something called brains, maybe I wouldn't be doing this much work. And then Syobai became the MVP of this trial. That thing is smart after all, probably even more so than Kanade. It's unfortunate that it only uses it for selfish gains. Kanade? What's wrong? I've been listening to you all this time, but you're quite the comedian, aren't you? All these contradictions, yet you stick to your delusions. What the fuck is this, right? Well, sure, let's just assume that the ghost house wasn't the place where Setsuko died. Then what about the pool? Are you saying that the pool is a possible place? Is it not? Sorry, the pool gate records. Sorry? The pool gate records. Show them to me. Alright. We can ignore the last two records made by Yuriko when we were searching for Setsuko. Yeah. Let us take a look at the ones before them. Whether it's the pool or the ghost house, there's an ID without an out record, and that's Setsuko. We're all on the same page about that, right? Then Setsuko's ID should be the one that entered at 1724, NU30D2. Yup. If you look at the gate record here, two IDs entered at 844 and 845, and left at 922 and 944 respectively. In other words, there was no one at the pool between 954 till 1254. And we have only one suspect left, CN9FU3, who entered at 1254. If Setsuko died at the pool, the person with this ID must be the culprit, right? I guess so, what about that? Syobai said the ghost house wasn't a possible suspect as there wasn't enough time for the culprit. Yeah, there's literally 1 minute. Or the suspect at the pool, C9FU3, left only 1 minute after Setsuko had entered. What? Now, a quote from your own words, Syobai. Idiot, you think that time is enough to chop up someone like that? About 2 hours, maybe 1 minute? Even if Setsuko died immediately upon entering, it would be impossible. But by that logic, it is impossible for both the ghost house and the pool to be the crime scene? Wait, even if the pool is where Setsuko died, we found the body at the ghost house. Couldn't they just kill Setsuko at 1724 and immediately leave with the body? I see, after all, what do gates matter to a dead body? So you're saying that the culprit somehow took care of the crime scene at the pool and left at 1754 carrying Setsuko's dead body to the ghost house? If the pool is the place, then this is the only way the culprit could have... I'm sorry to inform you, but that's also impossible. How come? The pool is at Block C while the ghost house is at Block A. They are completely opposite sides of the park. Do you think anyone could walk that distance without getting caught carrying a dead body of all things? By your theory, the culprit needed to leave immediately after killing Setsuko, leaving no time for cutting up the body. Then we're back at the start. Even if you somewhat cheesed it and made it to the ghost house, it'll be too late if you start the dismemberment then. Then what? Where did Setsuko die and how did she end up like that? It seems theoretically impossible. Well, I admit that my first theory was debunked by Syobai. That means we have to start from square one. No need for that. The crime is still possible even if we assume that Setsuko Chiyabukuro died in the pool. Really? No, what nonsense are you on about? There's a clear contradiction here. Bullshit. It's all possible if there's an accomplice. That's what I've been talking about. An accomplice? Syobai, you might not know this since you're always sleeping, but accomplices cannot exist. Even if there's an accomplice who helped the real culprit, only one person can win and escape. There are no benefits to becoming an accomplice. Shut up and just listen to me. While the older sister from the twin that you guys suspected, yeah, she's definitely not the Black Imp. That's for sure. But she did enter the ghost house and left a hairpin there, so it's hard to say that she isn't unrelated to this case. So you're saying that my sis is an accomplice? Hey, wait, what's that supposed to mean? You said it yourself. You don't have any memory, and you lose memory when you're in a pinch. An accomplice who helped the crime but lost the memory of doing so. Don't you think that's too good of an opportunity to miss? That's kind of what I was saying. What are you trying to say? By my theory, the real culprit used their twin sis in their own crimes. Give her a big mental shock or two, then use her as an accomplice. Once the deed is done, her memory will disappear, considering the existence of the accomplice. Wait, Syobai, but that raises some questions. If that's true, then the culprit needs to know the fact that if Hibiki loses her memory, she receives a mental shock. Well, duh, that's why the person who knows that is the real culprit. Someone who knows about Ibiku's secret used her as an accomplice, but the only person who really knew that fact was... You're really doing this, huh? The only person who already knew Hibiki's tendency to lose her memories is you, Kanade Otonokoji. Ironic, ain't it? You're the one who revealed that fact. Congrats, you scored your own goal. Kanade Otonokoji, she's the one who did it. Wait a minute, Kanade's the culprit? What, you got a problem with that? Well, not exactly, but she helped us throughout the last trial as well. By that logic, Emma also helped out during Yuri's case as well. Wait, not everything has been confirmed yet, and we can't be sure whether there was an accomplice or not. Syobai, why do you think these two are the culprit? I mean, I know I did the trial by myself because we were about to die if I didn't, but even so, you sure keep your brain only as decorations, don't you? Okay, so I had the order switched up, and my theory was pretty much correct. The reason why Syobai is so fixated on Kanade being the culprit. Let's listen to what he has to say. Missing abdomen. Well, there are a lot of reasons to suspect. But first was the state of the corpse. The state of the corpse, the dismembered corpse, you mean? What do you think was the cause of death? Huh? I thought it was dismemberment. We don't know about that yet, bro. The files didn't mention the cause of death. The file said that something sharp was the murder weapon. So perhaps she was stabbed by a knife and then dismembered? Then she left some traces of being stabbed on her body. Was there none? Every body part was checked. Okay, this is like I said, the abdomen was like gotten rid of because that was where the real cause of death was. This is a really good trial so far, by the way. Wait, Nikkei, did you say that we searched through every body part? Yeah, it was hard for my eyes to do it, but we managed to. What you said just reminded me. It seems like every part was carefully laying on the altar, but that's not the truth. One part, to be precise, the abdomen was missing, right, Syobai? What are you asking me for? But the girl's right, the body is missing from the hip up to the part below the chest. It was also written in the Monocro file as well, if I recall correctly. The area around the stomach was missing. Wait, the fact that they deliberately got rid of that part, that must mean there was some clue on the abdomen area. Maybe they stabbed her there. They might have tried to hide the cause of death. But why? I thought that there was a reason important enough to hide that, for them to hide that. There was, actually. And what's that? You might not know this, but the stabbing mark on the body is different depending on the hand that you use. To be short, you can determine whether the stabber is right-handed or left-handed using the marks. And both the twins are different. One of them is right-handed, the other is left-handed. Really? But what does that have to do with hiding the cause of death? They say that only 10% of all people are left-handed. The majority are right-handed, and I reckon that this might be the likely situation amongst us as well. Now, what if the mark indicated that a left-handed person had stabbed the missing abdomen? You're suggesting the culprit is left-handed? Kanade, I'm asking this just in case. What hand do you usually use? My left hand. Ninka. That was amazing. You taught all of that just from the missing abdomen? How in the world does your thought process work? There's one thing I would like to ask Syobai. How did you know that Kanade was left-handed? You did suspect her based on the fact that the culprit was left-handed, right? That girl did some performance thing on the second island, right? In front of the shrine. The guitar she used was left-handed. You weren't there for that. Do you remember that from long ago? Wait, maybe all this time, were you just pretending that you weren't interested in us, but in reality you were? Don't make me laugh. You might be under the impression that you have finally solved the case with your incredible intellect. But if we're talking about lefties, there are plenty of people here who are left-handed besides me. Like Hiroa. Wait, what, me? And how did you know that I was left-handed? Wait, that doesn't matter right now. You always gripped your pen with your left hand, right? How could anyone miss something that simple? And Syobai, you still haven't solved the contradiction of the gate records. You needed to move the body from the pool to the ghost house in block A somehow. Even with the inclusion of an accomplice in crime, that is still impossible. I'm sorry, Missy, but that ain't quite the case. What? Did you really think that I'd suspect you just from the stabbing marks? This is just a conviction. It's not like the abdomen was actually found and had material proof of the stab wounds. I just tried to come up with a reason why the culprit had to go through the hassle of getting rid of that part. Then how did you solve the contradiction of the gate records? I'll go over them now. What do you think was the actual reason this contradiction occurred from both the ghost house and the pool in the first place? Well, an alive person must use their handbook in order to go through the gate. But since Setsuka couldn't do that as she was dead, only the in records will get recorded. So when we rolled out the places without any suspicious out records, only the pool and the ghost house were left. Think about that once more. Only a virtual ID gets saved in the gate records, right? You all assume that that ID was Satsuka's just because it had no out record. So what, just tell us already. Hasty, to put it simply, all of the gate records of the attractions can be manipulated. What? Wait, the gates already require you to use your handbooks to enter or leave. How in the world would you manipulate that? Who said anything about using your own handbook? Monoko never once mentioned that you have to use your own handbook. She just simply stated that you need to use a handbook. Then that means, yep, you can use a handbook of another person to go through the gates. Don't lie to us, how does that make any sense? Well, it does, I tried it. Ah, so back when you first arrived on the third island, yeah. That's what I said, yeah, okay, yeah. One of you, I don't care who, just give me your handbook for a second. So Syobai, for you to speak to first, what's going into you? Okay, I remember this. So the reason you took Iroha's handbook was to try that out? Yeah. Everyone, do you know what this means? It means that our basis of the gate records was wrong from the start. But even if what Syobai said is true, it only became harder or even impossible for us to identify who was who. Nope, if you assume that the gate records were rigged and reversed, the thinking process, the case begins to unfold. My theory is this: Setsuka Chirobako died at the pool and the time of death was probably around this morning. Morning? Give me the records again, I'll go over them one by one for you. As you said, Setsuka Chirobako went somewhere by the culprit's request, and that was the pool. Got that? If you look at the pool gate records, Setsuka Chirobako's ID is probably IS3JZ2, who went in at 8:45. DJ6SX7, or should I say Miss Kanade over there, entered 1 minute ahead of her. But that would mean that Miss Little Sis left at 9:22. Only 40 minutes to spare. And that's where the accomplice comes into play. I call it the twin sister the accomplice, remember? 9:22 is exactly when she entered the pool. Using the handbook of her little sis. What? What's going on right now? I didn't quite understand. Me too. Oh, I see Kanade have sis who's waiting outside hand the handbook from outside. The gates only check if a human being passes through them, so objects do not matter. Okay, so what? The little shit was shown the corpse by the slightly little shit. Okay, that's a very funny line. And just as we were told, she receives a mental shock and loses her sanity, becoming the best crime tool ever, an accomplice that loses her memory. After that, the little shit left the swimming pool at 9:44, setting up the pool sign so that no one will enter. Wait, what? I thought that the out record at 9:44 was IS3JZ2, wasn't that Setsuka? According to this theory, she would have already died at that point. Oops. Now that it's been confirmed that you can use a handbook that belongs to another, that would have been Hibiki using Setsuka's handbook. So he's saying that if you use, let's say I'm inside the attraction and I use my handbook to get out, I can have somebody enter and that will count? Okay, I didn't think of that. What about after that? The little shit came back at 12:54, carrying the tools needed to dismember the corpse. She used her own handbook this time. After spending about 5 hours cutting the body up, they both left at 17:24 and 17:25 with the body pieces. But it says it's an inn. Oh, cause the bodies. Oh yeah, wait. They probably got rid of the sign at that point. The little shit throws the sign over the gate at 17:24. And the little shit puts the sign back in the swimming pool and leaves at 17:25. It's as simple as that. Here, they can use their own handbooks this time. I see. So we're saying if there's a handbook that's like, because the first time every like even time you use a handbook, it's gonna say it's an in, even if you were out. It doesn't actually check whether you're in or out. It's check if it's the first time or the second time you're using it. I see. Now, what do you think will be the end result of the gate records if you follow these steps? The end result? Well, oh, Hibiki used Kanade's handbook when entering the pool, right? And since Kanade's ID already had an in record, it would show an out record. So when Hibiki left through the gates, the resulting output would have an in record. Okay. I didn't understand that's how it works, but that makes sense. I think that should have been foreshadowed a bit more, because I don't think it's reasonable to assume that's how it works. It could easily have like 2 sensors on each side, and one of them always shows in, the other always shows out or whatever, but sure. I see, so that's how the pool had an ID without an out record. If we apply Syobai's theory, the actual reality of the pool gate records would be like this. 844 and 845, those 2 records here would be from Kanade and Setsuka respectively. And the out record at 922 was Hibiki using Kanade's handbook to enter the pool. Yeah. The out record at 954 was Kanade using Setsuka's handbook to leave. And she entered with her own handbook with the tools at 1254. Finally, after she dismembered the body, both she and Hibiki left at 12... Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. That's kind of smart, but like, that's fucking insane. If you're trying to solve this on your own, like, good luck. Both she and Hibiki left at 1725 and 1724 respectively. Here, even though Hibiki was already inside the pool, this was the first time she used her handbook. Yeah. On the gate, which resulted in output, yeah, the NU tree, yeah. Thus, the ID without an out record, NU tree 0 OD2, was not Setsuka, but actually Hibiki. Yeah. I mean, we don't actually know which one is the killer, but it's getting a bit complicated. Could you give me a simpler explanation? Sora's explanation was simple enough. You couldn't even understand that. Well, she is an idiot after all. But wait, I get that you're assuming that the culprit used the time between 1254 and 1724 to dismember the body. You would need ample time after all. But it took 3 hours for the culprit to return to the pool from 954 to 1254. And you think it would take 3 hours for me, the culprit, according to your theory, just to find the dismemberment tools? Who cares? The signpost would have kept anyone out of the pool anyway. You had loads of time to spare. Iro, you said that you saw Hibiki enter the ghost house a bit before 18, right? So that must have been at 1755 when they arrived from the swimming pool. It must have been then that the twins moved the corpse to the ghost house. After all, the body was actually found there. But how? Come again? I told you this before. How would you move from block C to A without getting caught? The only thing Syobai deduced is how the gate records can be explained, and how the murder could have happened in the pool. Even he doesn't know how the body was moved, right? She definitely has a point. The corpse had the head, body, both arms, and hands, legs, and the feet. 10 pieces altogether, and how would you manage to move them without getting caught? The first ever record of someone entering the ghost house was 1755. Since we have Iro as a witness, we can surely say that it was Hibiki who entered at that time. But by Syobai's theory, the culprit left the pool at 1725, this is a mistake, leaving only 30 minutes to move the body to the ghost house. But now that we know there was an accomplice, it will take half the time and effort to move all the body pieces, right? So each carries 5 total pieces. You really think that's possible? So it is what I said. While Kanade was investigating location A, he got all the body pieces from the doll that had been moved over during the parade and tossed them over the gate to Hibiki. Okay. I'm sorry. Maybe they had some sort of bag that had the corpse inside, you know? The ones in movies and mangas? A corpse bag. And what if someone finds you? How are you going to explain it to them? What if they open the bag or something? That really is the main problem. Forget the time constraints. You need to stealthily move the body without getting caught. I just thought of an incredible solution. What is it, Nikkei? The monorail. We have the monorail that goes around each department in Satsuki Land. If they use that, it would take around 5 minutes from each department to department, and as a plus. No, it wasn't active during that hour. You wouldn't be seen as well. Oh, that's right. The monorail. Sure, you can use the monorail to move it without being seen and save time as well. But was it really possible for the culprit to use the monorail? No. Because it's off during odd hours. And that was at 17, which is an odd hour. Nikkei, I'm afraid that's impossible. How come? It's definitely a possibility. No, by the theory we're going with, the culprit must have moved the corpse between 1725 and 1755. If you see the monorail timetable, you'll quickly see that the monorails weren't active at that time. What? Really? Monaco did say that the monorails were only active every other hour. That's probably right. I was at Setsuki-land early for the 18th parade, but I don't recall seeing any monorails pass by. Monorail. Yeah, that's right. Newsy, you said it. She used the monorails. What? But didn't Sora just say that? Shut up and listen. First, she leaves the pool at 1725 and moves the pieces to the Block C monorail station. Okay. This shouldn't take long, right? She would be moving within the same department. She then leaves the corpse there and uses Setsuka's handbook to call a hairhead girl to the Mirror Mansion. Then the older sister moves to the ghost house at Block A to deliberate to be seen entering the ghost house by the bubblehead girl. She did it on purpose? Why do such a thing? Probably to accuse Hibiki as the culprit in the trial. And we actually did so in the beginning of the trial based on Hiro's account. Wait, what did you all think of me when you heard bubblehead girl? I mean, you are bubbleheaded after all. Mikado, why are you picking on Hiro? Why don't you pick on someone your own size, you worthless criminal? Go kill yourself! My broken heart. Will you shut up for 1 second? I'm trying to focus, damn it. First, 1755, the older sis enters the ghost house to cut the fuse and put out the fire to make the ghost house dark. Next, she has to hurry because there's another gate that occurred only 20 minutes after she entered. Since she used Tetsura's Chibuko's handbook when she entered, she uses her own when leaving the place. This way, 2 in and outputs get recorded. Yeah, and she leaves no sign that she ever left the place. Yeah. You all saw the parade together at 18, right? The little shit goes to see that while the little shit goes to Block A monorail station. The monorail will start moving at 16, so she rides it from Block A to C, and carries the body parts to Block A through the monorail. This way you'd be able to solve both the time and stealth issue. Amazing, it looked to be impossible at first, but now we have a clear grasp of what actually happened. And so, what next? Continue. There's not much left after this. Hide the body parts somewhere near the ghost house, and after confirming that white hair over there left at 1936, go inside the ghost house with the body. Here you again use Setsuka Chibuko's handbook at the gate. Since I used Setsuka's handbook when first entering the ghost house, this time the resulting output would be an out record. Exactly, everything left is simple. Set up the corpse on the altar and create a pool of blood using the blood packs. And then it's finished. This newly reformed ghost house, now with an actual corpse. Now the ghost case records until this point can be summed up to this. Yeah. Yeah. How is it? This is the result of this case. Kanade Otonokoji as the culprit and Hibiki Otonokoji as the evidence. That can't be. Honestly, if we consider Syobai's usual behavior into account, it's hard to trust him, but it's logically sound and his reasoning is perfect. Kanade, are you really the culprit? Did you really murder Suka? And I helped you without any knowledge of that? What should I do? I don't know what to do. Sis, don't cry. That beardy hag is just talking nonsense. Got any rebuttals? Rebuttals? Are you really thinking of yourself that you really cracked this case? Let's get straight to the point. You're completely wrong, full of contradictions again. And to marvel at this stupid of a theory, Mai, you all have questionable brains, don't you? What part of it was a contradiction? As much as this theory has holes like it's Swiss cheese, the main problems are 2 big contradictions. Syobai, you told us that after leaving the pool, you left the body at the station and used the monorail to move to Ghost House, right? And you reminded us, whose handbook did we use when entering the Ghost House? You said it was Setsuka's. And you think that's possible? Isn't it possible the culprit must have had her handbook ever since she was murdered? Everyone, you might be able to pass through the gates using someone else's handbooks. But only handbooks that are active are valid in this case. Syobai? Shit, you're right. I made a mistake. I see. Even if you have Setsuka's handbook, only Setsuka herself can turn it on. Why does that matter? We had the same issue with Emma, but she used Kokoro's finger. No, bro, that was possible because Emma cut and kept Kokoro's fingers. Syobai specifically said the culprit left the corpse at the station. According to this theory, you would never be able to turn Setsuka's handbook on at the ghost house. It takes a long time to ride Block A from C, even at running speed. Even if you use Setsuka's hand to turn the handbook on before you leave, it'll be turned off by the time you reach the ghost house. You're right. As we discussed in the last trial, the touchscreen locks off the handbook sleep mode, requires the owner's fingerprints. Wait, speaking of Emma, why didn't the culprit use the method Yuki just mentioned? The method Yuki just mentioned? You mean cutting the fingers off and carrying them? Impossible. Setsuka's wrists were cut off. Her fingers were all fine. I mean, you could carry those hands to turn the handbooks on. No, that's probably not it. Then we'd again have the problem of how to carry the body without getting caught. Even if the hands are small compared to the whole body, they still have considerable size and you're doomed if they bleed. There's too much risk at hand. Maybe they managed to luckily carry the body. I mean, they obviously put the bodies in the doll, right? They managed to luckily carry the body without getting caught. Really? Then let's assume the culprit somehow solved this issue, and let's go over the next problem. Can we really go over the issue that easily? I'm surprised there hasn't been a break yet, like a middle break. Well, actually, we have a much bigger problem here. Syobai said the culprit hid the body parts near their ghost house to wait until Sora left the place. And may I ask you where that place is? How in the world can you find a place to hide 10 body pieces? If there was a pile of body near the ghost house, anyone would have noticed it. It would seem unnatural if you hide it all inside a bag. But if you hide them separately, it would take time for the culprit to gather back the pieces. You're not really going to the culprit also managed this through luck as well, are you? Well, if you are, we have a trusty Sora. He searched every nook and cranny near the ghost house, right, Sora? Oh yeah, I searched not only the inside of the house, but also the outside as I was leaving the place. If there was a corpse hidden near the ghost house, I would have noticed it right away. No, wait, maybe it's not the ghost house. Hide it in somewhere else other than the ghost house? Poor old Syobai. But we searched every other place as well. Sora, Iroi, and I searched basically everywhere in Block A, so there are no other options, Syobai. Dude, who do you think I'm suspecting here? If you're saying that you, who I suspect as the culprit, searched Block A, I mean, do I really need to say more? What do you mean? She just has to hide the body in a place that she searched in. She's the culprit, and all she has to do is say there was nothing there. Fufu, so correct me if I'm wrong, Syobai. You're saying that the body was hidden at the complete opposite side of the park from the ghost house? What? The place I investigated was that area, the storehouse, and beyond. I hate to break it to you, little Syobai, but that's a bit too far away from the ghost house. Don't you think? You little... Wait, what about that? If there's a problem with it being... Is there a problem with it being too far? We can't move the body around when there's everyone running around about in Block A, right? The culprit must have moved the body parts at least after Sora left the ghost house, which is 1936. According to the gate records, the culprit carried the body parts 6 minutes later at 1942, right? Ah, so that's it. If you had the body parts too far away from the ghost house, you wouldn't be able to retrieve them within the next 6 minutes. Yeah, Sora even said that she looked outside the ghost house. She should have stayed there at least 1 to 2 minutes after that. So we would only have about 4 to 5 minutes to move the body parts. If you want to move all 10 corpse pieces within that time limit, you would have hid it somewhere close to the ghost house. Wait, both Miss Older Sis and Younger Sis are in it together according to Syobai, right? So if they move them together, I told you it's impossible even for 2 people. They would have to make 2 round trips even if there was an accomplice. Even in the case that we hid it in the nearest storehouse, why are you shrinking? It's impossible to make 2 round trips within 4 minutes. Unless you have teleportation skills, that is. Teleportation? Does that mean Mikado is? Wait, even the rules mention that I cannot use magic in murders. You do remember it, right? You haven't forgotten about it or me, right? Then what's actually going on here? Syobai, is there any other way? See, they're all ignoring you because you made such an idiotic comment. I think you mean they're ignoring you. Be quiet in the peanut gallery over there. Is Syobai's theory wrong? Kanade definitely has a point there. What kind of method did the culprit actually use? Oh, we're still going. Maybe there's just not the middle interruption in this chapter. Yeah, it's the doll, obviously. Ghost House fuse box. Okay, never mind. Okay, we're talking for hiding the body. Okay, sure. It's no use trying to think of another way. That fast, impossible to move the corpse, it would be. I guess Syobai's theory was wrong. Wait, that means the culprit actually managed to move the body without using the monorails. The only method to do so is to just hope for the best and not get caught. I guess that's the only solution we have now. But the gate records were rigged, right? In that case, the culprit stayed inside for 2 minutes until the ghost house between 1755 and 1757, so they hid the body and cut the fuse during that time. I'm fucking missed, oh my god. After all, there were no other possible time the culprit could have caused the blackout. Let's try to find a contradiction from a structural standpoint of the ghost house. I can't afford to make the smallest of mistakes. Wait, I think I'm shooting the last one actually. Because, it's all the way at the end of the ghost house. They wouldn't have time to go all the way over there to cut the fuse. Yeah. This is a fucking crazy trial, by the way. Jesus. Nikkei, I'm afraid that would be impossible. Why, I get that you barely have enough time, but if you move at full speed... Sora's right, 2 minutes is far from enough when you're trying to hide 10 body pieces. And more importantly, the ghost house fuse box is the problem. They opened it to cut the wires, remember? That means they had to visit the innermost part of the ghost house. The fuse box was located just beside the entrance to the altar. And the altar is located innermost in the ghost house. Just going to and fro would take up all the time. Maybe there was a secret passage that only the culprit knew of. They could have hidden the body there and gained access to the fuse box as well. Please, can someone knock some sense into him? There's no way that kind of passage would exist. The most crucial thing is, if the culprit carried the body to the ghost house, the person who saw this should have noticed it. So how is it, Ira? Did my sister enter the ghost house holding something in her hands or not? What? Well, why are you so flustered? Well, I just didn't expect to get called. What did you say? Ira, it seems like you're not very fond of the fact that you have your head attached to your neck. Would it kill you to please pay attention? You told us that you saw my sis entering the ghost house around 1755. Oh. She was empty-handed. If she was holding a piece of the corpse, I would have recognized it. See, so that means you didn't transport the body directly to the ghost house. I cannot be the culprit. And as mentioned before, there are too many contradictions to suspect my sister as the culprit. I have something to inquire, Kanade. You have successfully shown us that you cannot be the culprit. But doesn't that mean you yourself admit that your first theory was wrong? Now that it's come to this, who do you think is the actual culprit? That's well... Honestly, I also need to think through this again. I was so focused on proving my innocence that I haven't come up with another theory yet. Syobai, how about you? This is the first time you stood up in a class trial. Is there any other theory you'd provide us with? Wait a sec, I need to clear my thoughts. I missed something big. Is this? No, it can't be. Your two brains are stumped. Please give it your all, we're counting on you. This case is honestly so complex that even I cannot get a good grasp on it. Oh no, we're doomed. I knew we needed Kokoro. If Kokoro was here, she would have solved the case immediately if only she hadn't been killed. Ira, would you please shut up? We're all doing our best, but... Sniff, sob. I'm tired, I want to go home. Mama, Papa. Please, would someone clog her mouth or something? Bring out the UFO. It's time for the logic crafting. We've been through 2 class trials. Of course they were difficult and we were stumped a couple of times, but this is the first time that our reasoning came to a stop completely. The culprit of this case, who is it? How did they kill Setsuka? Even Kanade, who's the smartest out of us all, is having a hard time coming up with a solution. A person with no special brains or talents like me would never hope to help everyone in this case. I've got it. Kanade? So that was it. Everyone, I knew the culprit now. Really? Oh, Kanade, I knew it. I believe in you. Hooray! I need to thank Syobai for this. Without him, I would have believed without a doubt that my sister was the culprit. Or she's gonna say that we're the culprit. Now would I have realized that the gate records had been rigged and that my sister was used. So you admit the fact that Hibiki's an accomplice. No, my sister wasn't an accomplice. She was just literally used by the culprit, the poor thing. This case was performed by a single person, a meticulous one at that. So who is it? Let me spell the clues to you. Follow along with me, everyone. First, just as Syobai said, they are left-handed. And they provided us with a false testimony so that my poor sis would get suspected. And added an alibi during the parade so that they could freely move around the monorail. I'm sure you all realize what I'm talking about, right? Left-handed, false account, has an alibi during the parade. The person who fits all this criteria is... I don't know? Hero, I guess? I mean, I don't actually think it's Hiro. It's definitely Kanade. The person who fits all of the criteria is Hiro Nijue. It has to be you. Hooray for Kanade, she has easily tracked down the culprit for us. What? It's definitely not Hiro. It's definitely it's definitely Kanade. Okay, this is a fucking banger class trilogy. I'm really excited to see how this is gonna go. I'm sad that Kanade is gonna die. She was my favorite character, but you know, all good things must come to an end. Damn. Syobai, like, coming out of nowhere to solve the case, showing he like, is actually useful. That was really, really good. Well, yeah, I'm gonna end here. See you next time for the conclusion.